It's like, you know.
I just don't know why a guy would want to have a multiple wife. Like having one's, it's a lot of work, having two, that's.
It is a lot of work, but I'll tell you why it's good. Because for women, right? Like, okay, what I'm going to say right now doesn't represent anyone's views except for mine. Okay, so I'm going to say maybe some shit here that's very controversial. Women are retards. And what I mean by them being retards is they need to validate their man through the lens of other people. Let me explain what I mean by this. A girl will have a guy, right? And be like, okay, this guy's attractive. I like him, right? But they're not going to know that they're making the right decision until they go outside with that guy and other women look at him and other men respect him, right? And the reason why I'm making sure that I make this distinction that they need validation through the lens of other people is because men are not like that. Like if me and you are at a club, right? And you see an attractive girl and you're like, yo, I'm going to go talk to her. She's attractive. And I tell you, oh, she's ugly. You'll be like, fuck off, dude. I'm going to go talk to her. You don't need my approval to go talk to her. You're just going to do what you're going to do because you're a man, right? Women don't operate that way. Women go off of what other people think, and then if it's socially acceptable, and then on top of that, they want to ensure and know that they got the best mate at all times. And the only way for them to honestly assess that is they need outside validation from other women and then other men. In other words, they want a guy that other women want to be with and other men want to be. And since women need this validation from the external, this is why they're fucking retarded. And since they're retarded and need this external validation, there's no better demonstration of higher value than having other women that want you. Now, look, if you want to be monogamous, my opinion is, if you want to be monogamous, cool, no problem. Have one girlfriend. I have no issue with that as long as it's your choice. But you need to stay attractive so your girl knows that she can be replaced at any time, because women are horrible people when they have leverage.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I know. It sounds crazy, but it's the truth, man, when it comes to women. It's the truth. Like, if guys understood this, right, about, like, keeping their sexual market value high and having other women that want them, their girl would respect them way more and think twice before doing some fuck shit. It's the only way to keep women in line, bro. It's a really ugly part about female nature, but it's the truth about them.
As a guy where I've been, maybe 7 relationships in my lifetime, I like to be pretty realistic with myself. I'm not really the greatest looking guy, to be completely honest. I've been homeless before. I've had no money. Now I'm a multimillionaire. I've been 340 pounds. I've been a fucking loser. I've, been very successful. To me, I think the thing that keeps women's attention more than anything, because, a lot of my viewers, they never had a girlfriend. Maybe they haven't even had sex. And I think that's a growing problem to some of these men. I don't really think you need looks or money or any of that. I just think you just need to be the most interesting person that they can talk to. That's been my example. Like I just, when a woman talks to me, I make sure that everybody else they ever talk to is infinitely more boring. And I just really deep dive and get to know who they are, what they like, what makes them interested. Because I really don't, because people like Clavicular. I think that guy's awesome. No, I'm also fucking furious that he's ODing on fucking stream, because what the fuck is he doing? And I wish he would, have somebody like check him a little bit, because I don't want to see that guy dying. That would break my heart. He's like 21. But he's kind of talking about how you need to be sexy, you need to be successful. For me, I just think you just need to be compelling and just make your life story to them and make them think that you're like truly the most, like that fucking Dos Equis commercial. Make them think that you're the most interesting man in the world. And I think a lot of things that, for me, the way that I talk to women or have talked to women, obviously I'm engaged now, is just make sure that everybody else, people don't know how to talk to girls, in my opinion. I don't think they know how to talk to them at all. And I think if you can make a woman actually feel heard, that's kind of the way that you can kind of keep them by your side forever. And they will actually give a fuck about you, for me.
Look, I wish it were that way, man. I wish it was like, just be a good guy and that'll go.
Sure.
But like, the thing is this, like, and I'm glad that you brought up Clavicular, because Clavicular has kind of brought to light what I've been talking about forever. And it's like, what he's basically demonstrating is that he's demonstrating hypergamy at like a super high level with women, right? Which is like, he's going to the clubs, he's making out these girls, he's a good-looking guy, he's got cameras following him, he has money, etc. So he has like the trifecta, right? And what he's showing on stream is how women actually behave from a carnal perspective if they're faced with a more attractive guy. Girls that are in committed relationships, girls that are married, women that have a guy that they're talking to or that they're with, and he's like pulling them from them. Like, He's
Well,
red pilling people real time.
He is talking to whores, though. He's not talking to any high value women. He's talking to like attractive women, but all these women are just useless sluts. They're gonna fuck him once and they're gonna hop onto the next train. Like,
That's the majority. That's the majority of females, though.
I think that's the majority of people, to be honest. Because I mean, what's the average cheating rate? 70% of non-married couples.
Yeah, but men aren't whores. Only women are whores. Men are the whore makers.
You think so? I know a lot of horny motherfucking men.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing, right? I'll explain what I mean by this. For a man, right? For you to be promiscuous as a man, you have to bring value to the table. To be promiscuous as a woman, you don't have to bring any value to the table.
Sure. It is a lot easier to get dick than it is to get vagina, because any motherfucker would have slapped a paper bag on you and fucking run you. They don't give a fuck about who you are, all that. No, sure. Yeah, it is a lot easier to be a hoe. And it's a lot more. It's a lot more rewarding as well, because like any women can have the backup plan of just booting up an OnlyFans and selling their pussy for $5. Absolutely, sure.
Yeah, and this is why, like, when I see guys that like smash a lot of girls, I know they're doing something right. But if I see a girl that smashes a lot of guys, she's definitely doing something wrong. So that's why, like, because women will try to sit there and be like, oh, well, you're a whore too. And they'll use it in a pejorative sense. And it's like, no, bitch, you're the whore. We're the whore makers. Like, women don't have, like, there's no skill for a woman to smash, but there's plenty of skill for a guy to smash. So, like, whenever I see a guy that's like getting women, I know he's doing something right. And again, I'm not telling guys to run around and smash every girl that they can.
Sure.
I'm just saying that guys need to be aware of this very, polarizing dynamic between the two genders, and that like women and men are not the same. And like, I know you said before, like, hey, just have a good personality, whatever. I do think it's important.
It's not so much good personality, just have good communication skills to where you can entertain their brain rather than just like, I don't know. You got to understand. I'm a guy, I'm 32 years old. I've never really given a fuck about sex at all. I don't fucking care. If it happens, cool. For me, sex is something that you do with one person that like you love because you want to have like a sacred bond. I'm not about beating guts. I've had opportunities, to do that type of shit. I'm just not interested. I don't care. I'd rather play a fucking video game. I'm going to be completely fucking honest.
No, and that's fine. Look, I'm not, everybody's different. Some guys are horn dogs, some guys aren't. Yeah. It's fine. Like, some guys want to be monogamous, and if they want to do that, that's completely cool. But what I will say is that I think with women, being interesting is like, that's cool. Obviously, being interesting is important, but like you have to be like, but you have to meet like the requirements first, where she even gives a fuck about your personality, right? So like, you got to be, you have, because most women like look at most men as like invisible. Like, most guys don't
absolutely
even
100%. They don't fucking exist. Yes,
they don't even exist.
Yeah, the growing amount of men that I know that have never had sex before and who want sex but have never gotten it is absurd. I don't think I know a single female virgin.
Yeah, no, they're not, dude. And if you take like an average 21-year-old female and an average 21-year-old guy, these women are running laps. And like, I get what you're saying. Being charismatic and having a personality is important.
Yes.
But you need to have all the other things in place where she'll even give you a chance. Because like, there's plenty of guys that are funny as hell, super charming, super charismatic, but they're not tall enough, or they don't make enough money, or they're not good looking enough. So the girls don't even give a fuck about their personality. Because like, look at like, we'll use clavicular. He goes up to the girls like, hey, are we gonna, are you gonna get cracked tonight? No, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm gonna go talk to another girl. And she's like, okay, I'll get cracked. Like,
that shit was so funny.
This is like the real like reality when it comes to women, bro. Like, this is what it is. And the thing is like, I know a lot of people say, oh, not all women are like that. A lot of them are, bro. Most women are fucking retarded whores. I'm just gonna be honest. And I'll tell you why.
Yes.
Because feminism, the reason why most women are retarded whores is because society tells them that they can play the field, have their hoe phase, have fun, go to college, be degenerate, experiment, and then when you're 29, 30, and you have your career, you can go ahead and find a family at the end of it. Like, this is what we advertise to women now.
No, it's a shame. I had to talk about this. I think the current generation of women is probably the most debaucherous, to keep it to keep it light. And it's a shame because, obviously I'm a guy where I want a family. I want to have a daughter. I want to have a kid. And to raise them in this generation where, we're currently encouraging little children to chop their penises off because they watched a Netflix show and a cow told them that they actually identify more as a woman than a man. I think it's horrible, the brainwash that we're putting into people. I think it's ridiculous that we're actually getting to a point where I get shit constantly for hoe shaming and whore shaming. Well, you should be. You absolutely should be. We should not be promoting these promiscuous lifestyles by any stretch of the imagination, because it's going to lead to the death of our fucking society. Nobody trusts each other. Everybody knows they're just, to find a good woman is nearly impossible these days. And the other thing is the value system. And I can only talk about my life. And when you're a content creator, in my position, the odds of finding a woman that's a good woman, that is so incredibly astronomically low, and also staying a good woman to your partner as a content creator. And I'm sure, I don't know if you're in a relationship or not, but at any point, they can ruin your life forever if they just say, oh, by the way, all that consensual sex we had, well, actually, no, it wasn't, because I changed my mind because I had a conversation with a friend 2 years later. And I think that's incredibly horrifying. And that's being publicized right now. And that's happening to the normal average day, average Joe, where that's happened to their father, that's happened to their brother, that's currently happening to them, where people don't see it to be worth to be in a relationship, because that is kind of how it's becoming the status quo. Now, once again, I don't want to lie to you, Myron. I don't think all women are fucking retarded. I think there's a higher percentage, absolutely. The average is stupid.
I think like 85. I think like 85% is retarded. I'm not even trying to be funny.
No.
I literally think like 85% of them are morons. Because I go to these college campuses, dude. These are supposed to be the cream of the crop women.
Yes.
And they're fucking retarded. Like, it's nuts, dude.
So, the cream of the crop women, I'm going to tell you where they're at. Okay?
Okay, where?
They're at Barnes and Nobles. Okay.
Reading fiction novels, like they're reading. Most women read fiction, by the way, because they're idiots.
Yeah,
they don't read nonfiction. They read romance novels. That's their pornography.
Well, their romance is how I got raped by a werewolf and then fell in love with them.
Exactly.
It's bad. But you got to find a good chick by meeting them. This is so bad. I think gym rats are honestly pretty good people too. I don't think anybody going to the club is going to be worth a fucking damn. I think meeting somebody at the club, you're fucking retarded. Maybe meet a girl playing League of Legends, go bot lane, play AD carry, have them play support, and then bond over 6 months as you grind them out of bronze into silver tier. But it's funny because I was talking about this the other day on stream. Finding a good woman for yourself is pretty much near impossible in your local area. I'm noticing the amount of importing that people are having to do of women from other countries, or from 5 states up. They got to fly them out to stay with you, because it is incredibly hard to find a good woman these days.
Yeah, the passport bro thing. Like, because here's the thing, like all of these different, like strategies have developed. So basically this was going on. Women have become insufferable, and quite frankly are not worth the headache a lot of the times, right? So men have kind of dealt with it in multiple ways. Some guys have said, you know what, I'm just going to go monk mode. Other guys have said, I'm going to go my own way. Other guys said, I'm going to just learn game and smash as many of them as I can. Other guys are like, I'm going to go leave the country and get my passport. Other guys, I'm going to import a girl in. But I would argue that all of us have pretty much identified the same problem in the West, or countries where feminism is prominent, where women are insufferable and quite frankly, most of the time don't make for good girlfriends, and even worse, wives. Women want to get married, but they don't want to necessarily be wives. So guys are dealing with it in different ways.
Well, because they're rewarded for that behavior.
Of course,
that is how the world, it's put women on a pedestal, and men really just have to bust their ass. Like a 7 out of 10 guy with like 6 figures who's 6 foot is going to settle for like a 3 out of 10 woman, because at least they think that person might not fuck another man. That the odds are lower. But it is all of the good women. Sorry, all of the hot women have OnlyFans. You don't want to date a fucking prostitute. And then all the other ones are impossible to find. They're most likely already married or already in a relationship. So there's not really any way to find any good ones.
Yeah, it's very hard. You gotta, this is why I tell guys, you gotta date a girl for like 6 months to 1 year before you even give her a serious relationship, or like start like taking her seriously. Because a lot of girls are very good at feigning good girlness, like, oh yeah, I'm pure. Cause like, up front, she's gonna pretend to be a good girl and I'm pure XYZ. And like, over like 6 months to 1 year, you'll be able to pick up on like bad habits and like be able to like, kind of keep it in the back of your mind. Because there's a lot of red flags that you can look for in girls that you'll be like, I don't know if I want to take this girl seriously. That might take time to develop for you to find out.
What are your top 3 red flags, you think?
Okay, sure. Does she obey? Does she like listen to what you say, right? Like without giving you, pushback or whatever? Does she have guy friends? Is she on, on social media all the time and have scantily clad photos of herself? Does she like going to the club, or going, like drinking a lot?
Club
or
is an instant no.
That stuff?
Club is an instant no.
Exactly. Exactly. So like, these are all things to like look for. Does she travel a lot? What's her relationship with her father like? Right. You know, does she have strong men in her life? And what I've noticed is like girls that don't have a strong father, brother, or uncle in their life, some type of male, some male character that's leadership, male leadership in her life, they tend to be all kinds of fucked up. So like, there's a whole bunch of different things that I go for. But like, yeah, like some big red flags is like her Instagram profile, how she dresses, does she submit, does she behave, does she understand male and female dynamics, does she respect you, etc. All these different things.
So I think that's another one that you just brought. The first one that you brought: does she obey? Does she comply? Does she like? I can't remember the exact word you used. But that's one of the
Submit,
biggest issues.
obey,
Yeah, obey.
listen to you.
Does she obey?
Comply.
That's what people have a really big issue with, is the terminology of which that is used, because people don't like when you say that. You know,
Yeah, they get mad at that.
They do. And it's very
But
hard.
here's the thing. That's a good way to vet women. Like, use the word obey and see how she responds. If she gets mad at you using the word obey, she's retarded, and you probably don't want to take her seriously, because like that's a fantastic word to like filter out girls, because it's in the Bible, bro. Like if a girl says, "I'm a God-fearing woman," and you say, "Okay, you need to obey your husband," what do you mean? Okay, bitch, get the fuck out of here. Like instant identify. Like get this girl out of here. But sorry, go ahead. You were going.
The internet once again has brainwashed a lot of women to think that if your husband tells you to do something and you do it, he's manipulating you. They use words like manipulate you, that they're oppressing you, that they're abusing you, that they're gaslighting you. And it's become so hard to even communicate with the opposite sex, especially in a relationship sense, because it's kind of like no matter what the man does, he's wrong. And this isn't for all women, but for a lot of women, they will think that if they do what their husband is telling them to do, that they're being abused, or they're being, you know, in an abusive relationship. And it's awful, because then what'll happen is there'll be two people in a perfectly normal, healthy relationship, and everything will be going fine. And then they will tell their friends what they did, or they'll tell their guy friends, you know, the guys who are waiting in line, waiting for them to have an issue. That way they can say, "Oh my God, he did what? I can't believe he did that to you. That's awful. Come over. Tell me about what's going on in your relationship." Those fuck the pre-orderers, the beta testers. It's awful, because anything can be made to sound terrible. Like, "Oh yeah, you know, I got my girl to make me some food." Oh my God, so he told you to make him a sandwich? Oh my God, that's fucking terrible. Everybody's trying to spin everything into the very forward, and we haven't really got to this part of the internet yet, because everybody talks about the misogyny that happens in the world, but the misandry is even worse. And if you call it out, you're called an incel. But man hate is at an all-time high. And so I understand, and maybe I'm wrong, Myron, maybe I'm wrong. I understand a lot of things that you say. I think, and maybe you do believe everything to the exact degree that you say. I think you're limit testing, personally. I think you're saying, this thing that I say that I totally believe, I'm going to turn it up just to piss some people off, because you kind of have to. We can't play the game the way that they've been playing the game for 2 decades now. We have to go above and beyond to level the playing field, because the outward misogyny and the outward misandry, we have to be so misogynistic to catch up to how much misandry has been in the shadows in order to get on the equal playing field. A lot of this, and you know, I'm not sure if you saw this with the whole Saikuno drama. There's this VTuber who kind of blew up by being a massive misandrist, which is, her name's Bao. Which is a shame, because you know, I met her like 5 years ago. She was honestly decent, and then she found out how popular you can get by just shitting on men nonstop. Even though you cater to men and 90% of your audience is men, you got to make sure that you say that all men are the issues. But it's not. I think everything, and this is why I say being important in communication, being charismatic is very important, because communication skills are at an all-time low. And if you can't properly undo the brainwash and the propaganda that women have been fed, and I agree, a lot of women are fucking stupid. If you can't undo that, you're never going to find the hope to actually finding someone who is going to love you for the rest of your life, and not fuck another dude the moment they get an opportunity to do so.
So you brought up some really good points there. Like, for example, misandry. Most people don't even know what that word is, right? Like everyone knows.
I know. It's so bad.
Most people know about misogyny, and half these women don't even know the proper definition, but they don't even know what misandry is. And there's a reason why no one knows what misandry is because disrespecting men, treating men like shit is completely socially acceptable. Now, going back to the whole obey thing, right? Because I thought it was interesting that you had mentioned that.
Sure.
The reason why the word obey is a problem, right? And women doing what they're supposed to do, or standing, or you know, filling in their roles. The reason why is because what feminism has done since the 1960s is blurred gender roles, and it's made female roles nebulous. It used to be She's the mother. She's the homemaker. She takes care of the children, etc. Right? She's the nurturer. But thanks to feminism, we've made it where women can do both. They can go ahead and chase a career, but they can also go ahead and be a wife or be a mom or whatever. And what this has basically done is it's kept the male roles static while female roles are negotiable. And while since female roles are negotiable, when a woman tells her girlfriend or a friend, oh yeah, I did this for my husband or whatever, that girl might be a feminist and doesn't respect men or doesn't want to be with men or has a shitty relationship, and she'll say, oh, you're being oppressed, blah, blah, blah. Be a stupid whore like me and enter the workforce and work for a man who doesn't give a fuck about you, right? So since women don't have like standardized roles anymore and they can do both, what ends up happening is they fall into the propaganda of chasing the girl boss dream, pursuing a career, etc. And that is why when you use terms like obey, when a woman says something like, oh, I'm doing this for my husband, she gets called to pick me. Like, think about it for a second, Tectone. This is the scary part.
Yeah.
Women are respected more for being whores on OnlyFans and making their own money and like pursuing an education and having a high body count than getting married at 18 years old and having a family.
It's actually hard.
You will get more heat as a woman getting married at a young age and having a family than being a whore and starting an OnlyFans at 18 and pursuing an education and being doing drugs and all the other bullshit. And that goes to show how fucked up society has become, because we don't put standards on women anymore. And we don't put standards on women. Now you can't shame them. And shame is the ultimate, that is like the antithesis of a woman's existence. It is their kryptonite, because if you shame women, it's how you get them in line. And that's what feminism has done. Feminism was created right under the ruse of equality. But what it's really become is it's a ruse for supremacy while simultaneously removing shame from society, because shame is the number one thing that gets women in line. There's a reason why Muslims, Asians, Christians, since the beginning of history, have all realized that women are retarded and need to be in subservient positions since biblical times. We all knew that they were stupid, and no one had a cell phone, no one had internet, no one had you got mail for us to all realize women are idiots. We all understood this biologically. And the big thing that they used to use to keep women in line was shame. Well, guess what we did? We removed shame, made them equal to us, and in some cases supreme to us, and that's why we have the fucked up society we have now. Whenever women have power, societies crumble.
Well, I do believe that we're currently in a gynocentric society, for sure. Women do have all the power.
100.
The other thing is, I was talking about this the other day. I tweeted this out as well. The amount of propaganda that must have been put into the world to convince people that a more admirable life for showing your asshole on the internet for less than the Fortnite battle pass, rather than having a beautiful husband and 3 children that love you more than anything, is astonishing. And it's so rewarding. And they will call you oppressed and a slave to your husband if you just simply do what he wants you to do. Just like he'll also bust, while he's busting his ass every day for you, if you ask for the same amount of busting your ass for him, oh, you're raped, oh, you're abused, you're manipulated. To think that you can't have children for the man that you love without being called a submissive retard is fucking insane to me. It's a shame. And the worst
and that's
thing
where
is,
we are. We've promoted that over a family, and that's why things are so cooked.
Yeah. Did you see the projected population rates in Europe?
Oh yeah, birth rates are declining everywhere.
Yeah, we've gone down to averaging 1.2 to 1.4, which is that is going to lead us into extinction. I think it was over the next 40 years, Europe's total population is going to drop below 50 million for an entire country, which is fucking insane, considering just California has 39.5 million right now. No one wants to have kids. No one wants to be in a relationship. Nobody wants to get married. It's awful. It actually is.
You want to know
the extinction
who's the Crusaders? Yeah, the Crusade, and I've said this before. I'm like, look, I talk shit about all races.
What's the best race?
I don't know, man. Everybody has their own skill set. But what I was gonna say is like, when it comes to like feminism, right? Because feminism is the main contributor to the declining birth rates, right?
Yeah.
Who's the main pushers of feminism? Jews and white women, bro. That's who's pushed it.
Yeah,
and like
liberal
that
white women are pretty
getting,
fucking retarded.
They're the worst.
Yeah.
They're the dude. If there's one main critique I would have on white people is like, white men don't get their women in line.
They got to control their women. No, that's
control
very
their women,
fair.
dude.
That's so
They got to control them. That's my biggest critique of white dudes is like they let their wives cuck them, bro. Like you put that bitch back in the kitchen, tell her to shut up, her opinions don't matter, and like stop bringing in immigrants and voting for Democrats.
Oh my
What's going on?
No, dude, it's so bad. It's so.
We're gonna lose our country because of women, dude. I'm telling you, bro. They are the ones that push. It is the female vote that legislates mass immigration, welfare systems, social, all these social safety nets, etc. It is female, the female vote. This is why I need to repeal the 19th Amendment.
Yeah, well, white people obviously have been guilted their entire lives for slavery, which is crazy due to the fact that we were the ones that freed the black people, and the black people sold the black people. So why the fuck are you guilting the white people? Without white people, the slavery wouldn't be abolished. Not to mention,
Dude, slavery is a Jewish construct. It's not even white, dude. It's
yeah,
kind of crazy. It's
no,
Jews. It's
yeah,
like funny how they make it all whites. It's Jews.
yeah. So every single person who's been born white has to constantly prove to other people that no, guys. But I'm an okay white. Like I love black people. Oh, you know what? Let's let in 10 immigrants right now.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Oh, well, you don't understand my circumstances. I'm a product of my environment. Shut the fuck up, bro.